YouTube, another video. In this one I want to do a little overview on how to use this thing effectively. If you're a beginner or if you've never used one of these before, the spraying techniques, I'd like to go over some. It'll help you be successful, I guarantee it. Alright, at this point I have this thing ready to spray. It's primed. If you need info on how to prime this thing, I have another video on that and I'll link to it. Okay, you're ready to spray, but let's do a test pattern first on a piece of cardboard. Alright, we're going to start with low pressure here and test the... Alright, that pattern was not too good, so I'm going to turn up the pressure. Let's go way to the top. So this might be a little noisy here, hang on. So now we got full pressure. Let's see what the difference is. Okay, neither one of those patterns is really very good, is it? They're called talls. Uneven spray. This is a little better. Not much. But a pattern like that's usually due to low pressure or too big a tip. I'm spraying primer through a 515 tip here. I would rather have a 511 or something like that, something a little bit smaller. But I'm going to explain why it's really not that big a deal. So the spray pattern really isn't that important because you're going to back brush everything anyway. It's the way to get the best results. Alright, since you're going to be back brushing, you might as well get yourself a good brush. I know this one looks pretty worn. This is a Purdy 3-inch angled sash brush. I use it for pretty much everything, interior and exterior. I cut lines with this. It's got a nice pointed edge on it. The leading edge there is nice and tight. It's not like the cheap brushes. This makes a big difference, so get yourself a Purdy 3-inch angled sash brush. They're definitely worth it. Alright, the reason you should back brush everything, in addition to maybe not having the perfect spray pattern, is that you end up with a much better result as far as coverage and overall durability. I'll test it out here on a piece of lath. It's pretty rough wood, but you'll see the difference between brushing, back brushing, and just spraying. Okay, I'm going to try and spray these evenly and then back brush this front one. Okay, here you have the two pieces. The one on the left is the one that I back brushed, and the one on the right is the one that I didn't. You can tell how much better the back brushed one is covered. It just helps everything. It's a little bit slower. It's definitely worth the time. You're going to end up with a much better finish. And granted, this is just the coat of primer, but you can see what a big difference it makes on something that's rough like this. Alright, now I'm going to spray a second coat of primer onto these, and I'll back brush the one on top as I did before, and I'll leave the bottom one with just spray. Okay, this is after two coats. One on the left is back brushed twice, and the one on the right is just sprayed twice. You can tell the difference. How much better the one on the left is covered. It makes a big difference. So another advantage of back brushing everything is that you can spray up to, but not onto something that you don't want to get it onto. think of using the sprayer as basically, instead of having to dip, you're basically spraying. So you have a sprayer and a brush, and you get the paint where you want it or close to it, and then you move it with the brush. I'll show you that. Then if you're back brushing, so this is perfectly smooth, so it's not the best demonstration, but you can take do this with one hand. You can see that I moved the paint to the edge, and that's the advantage here. So back brushing is more work, but it will definitely help you be successful if you think of using this as a DIYer, as a homeowner, just to get the paint close to where you want it. It's going to save you a lot of time in dipping. You're not going to just suddenly be a professional sprayer. You know, it takes practice and knowledge and experience. But you know, as just to go buy one of these and use it for the first time, think of it as a way to get the paint where it's going. Well, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please think about subscribing. Hit the like button. I'd love to answer your questions, anything you guys got to say. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.